What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Lake Julian Disc Golf Course for another Plastic Conspiracies, because not only do we have the General, we also have another house of discs, very similarly numbered, very similar looking. This is the Latitude64 Rive. This is I think it's the Tour Series. It's whatever their specialty is for their player for silver lot. And since it's silver's disc, we had to buy the silver one. Also, I'm gonna make it pretty easy to see, hopefully. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with just throwing the General versus the Rive, and let's see if there's any comparisons here that we can easily draw out. Yeah. We're gonna go backhand from the long pad. See how far these things go. I'm gonna go General first, just to make sure that I know how I'm throwing. Threw it on hyzer, stayed on hyzer, but it did have a little bit of a stand up for a consistent, reliable fade. Now, for the Rive, this one's heartbeaty. If anything, that was more stable. Interesting. We're gonna do some walking and talking because most of the tee pads we're gonna be throwing from in there in the sun, so let's get moving. So the things that could make the Rive more stable are, well, so here's the General, here's the Rive. This on the General is very smooth transition. It's just smooth all the way straight up to it, versus on the Rive, it's not as much necessarily as a Destroyer or a PD2 might be, but there is a little bit of segmenting right here. So you can feel just a little bit of a lip there, similar to the Raider. But this one actually has a little bit of a flat spot right there. It's very, very small, but it does have a little bit more segmenting. So right there, the more segmented the rim is, the more stable it tends to be. And once you get up into the high speed distance driver, the more dome, the more glide, usually the more stable. At least with the overstable distance drivers. And this one, it's gonna be hard to hear, but it does have it, whereas there is absolutely nothing on the General. As far as dome is concerned, the General is basically flat. I do also want to bring out two other discs that might end up being thrown at some point in time. And so I want to show the profiles here real quick. One of those is the PD2. And so here is the PD2. There's a lot of segmenting on this one. So you have this like extreme hump on the edge, then there's a flat spot, then there's another little ridge right here, and then another flat spot. And then the extreme heartbeat pop top. The other disc is this Destroyer. This is the Henna Blommers Destroyer, Tour Series Destroyer. This one, it's not as segmented. It's pretty, as far as Destroyers go, it's pretty smooth transition. It's a little bit more similar to this Rive. However, it has something that the PD2 has that these other two do not, and that is this extra high nose, which, as I've talked about it before, the wider, it basically mimics a higher parting line as it's run further out there. So you can get the distance, you can get the glide, you can get the push, because the parting line is actually lower, but it mimics more overstability. Whereas both the General and the Rive don't mimic overstability, they just go really far. I did like the stability I saw on the Rive though, so this one might end up in another video at some point in time. For now, let's go up on, it's gonna be a super sunny fairway, a super sunny tee pad. So it's gonna be very hot. Don't wanna stay there for too long. We're gonna throw the Rive, the General, and we're gonna throw the Skystone PD2. We're gonna go forehand. We're gonna go Rive first to lead us off. Punch it, soft hyzer. I just wanna get distance and see how long it holds for. Oh, yuck. That was so air bounced. I should have gone with the Skystone first, just to make sure I'm feeling the shot right. That's better. Into the tree, okay. Now the General. Oh, over the tree. I forgot to mention another reason that the Rive would appear more stable is it is a faster rim, and faster rims have a higher low threshold for staying on their flight path. So it's going to slow down below its threshold sooner than the General will, just because the rim is wider. So it's going to start to dump out a little bit quicker, thus appearing and actually being a little bit more overstable. How about that? All right, on this hole, we are just gonna go Rive and Destroyer. This is the straightest Destroyer I have. And so I thought it would probably pair a little bit better with these than like the Calvin Heimberg one would. We're gonna trust that it does have stability. We're gonna throw the Rive on anhyzer. The reason we're not throwing the General is I know that if I actually throw the General on committed anhyzer, it doesn't fade out of it. It just turns. So let's see if the Rive fades out of the ride of its life. That has some stability. That's really nice. How about the Destroyer now? Oh, I hit the Destroyer so perfect. That was an amazing feeling. That Rive actually has a chance of making the bag. So this plastic conspiracy video will eventually, later down the road, will eventually turn into an actual battle. But right now we're just testing it out, seeing what it can really do. And I think I like it better than the General for sure. All right, we set the Destroyer down for a second. We grab the PD2. We're gonna go a big backhand flex. We're gonna throw PD2 first so I know the right feeling. Then we're gonna go with the Rive and see, does it have what it takes? A little on the short side. I could have pumped it a little bit harder, but it's really warm out. I will admit that was more nose up, because I don't think it's that much more overstable than that PD2, but it was nose up, a little bit nose up. Slipped in my hand a tiny bit. So we're gonna talk here in the shade for a second while I wait for the sunny tee pad to clear. The Rive has more stability than the General. Now, flight numbers, they're both from House of Discs, and they're both in the same plastic, but that extra wider rim and that slightly more segmented gives the Rive some stability that the General just doesn't even hope to have. On this last hole, I'm gonna throw all four. I'm gonna go backhand distance, turnover flex. A shot that has crushed the hopes and dreams of the General, while I think every other disc in here is going to be almost perfect. That's my anticipation. Now, let's go put it into practice. Since I keep making a big stink out of it, we're gonna throw the general first. Just actually try to throw the big Anheuser shot because this one just holds. Versus the PD2. Well, that was admittedly a really big grip lock, but it still fought out more and it flew less time. Let's see if we can go a little bit more controlled here with the Rive. That's pretty good. That one might actually have enough stability to battle either the Calvin Destroyer or possibly the Panic. I don't know about the Panic. Maybe the PD2s, but I have the Panic in the bag right now, so that's why I'm weird about it. So possibly the Calvin. Now, the furthest drive I've had this year has been with this disc. See if I can recreate anything similar. Yeah, that's a distance bombing machine, but this isn't about that destroyer as much as I brought it up mainly because I just want to throw that destroyer. But the Rive is more stable than that destroyer. I was giving it a lot less credit, and probably because of the General, but the General just doesn't have it. The Rive kind of does. So maybe Latitude64 is better than dynamic discs. Yes, I said it. Hopefully you guys enjoy content like this. If so, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see new stuff, make sure to comment all of that down below. Please make sure to subscribe. It helps you guys out with these subscriber-only giveaways. And if you want to be automatically entered into monthly giveaways, check out the memberships as well. Until next time, see you out on the course.